after independence, we should be able to take this country through science and technology. That's why he created these institutions, created public sector undertakings and licensed production along with large number of friends like Russia and all that. And we had steel plants, we had rolling mills, we have thermal power plants, and all through collaboration, and not collaboration, licensed production. The hope of the planners was that people like us will learn the technology and upgrade it and take it to a level so that it will be competitive tomorrow with the future technology growth. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. We continued to import MiG-21, MiG-23, MiG-29, MiG-20 Sukhoi, and even today MMRCA. So we continue to import our technologies. Does it not speak badly of the design capabilities of all of us as engineers and scientists? The biggest gap, it is not in defense alone, in every walk of engineering, in every walk of consumer goods, is that all the designs which are being produced in the Indian industries are from the European or the US origin. We continue to import those designs, and we feel very happy by producing it and consuming those goods in-house, saying that my GDP is increasing. But it does not make you a technologically strong nation. So you remain as a follower all the time. Your import content continues to increase. The oil bill is the highest. And do you know the next highest bill? It is electronics. All the cell phones, the TVs, the communication equipment, 80% of items we import, 20% we do by value addition. If that is the kind of scenario in industry with our youth and we are going to do, then I think we are not doing our job properly. So design capability is one area where the youth has to concentrate. Same thing is happening in manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector used to contribute something like 26% to the India's GDP. But today, last year, we came down to less than 5%. This is a figure of 2013-14. Because our manufacturing skills are becoming outdated. We are not catching up with the manufacturing technology which has evolved over the years. And as a result, you have a gap there. Same thing is happening in material development. Same thing is happening in even software. Madam was mentioning that IT hub, Bangalore. I want to ask this hub, please tell me how many Indian softwares are working in our place. All softwares which we use are done maybe by Indian engineers abroad, but not in India. Whether it is BPO or call center or it is R&D centers, whether it is CFD software or FEM software or MATLAB or whatever that, everything is outside. Tell me a software which I have done. I'll be very happy to know because that will add to my database. So we need to be innovative, we should build software. And some of the engineers of India only have gone and developed these softwares in Silicon Valley or in Microsoft or in Siemens or whatever that. But they don't develop it in India. It doesn't carry the name of a company of Indian origin. Now that is where the gap lies. And as a result, if those softwares, if those manufacturing techniques and if all those things are denied, then you will not be able to catch up with the technological gap which is existing today. And that's why people are working on nanotechnology. We are still not having a foundry to make our own MMICs, which are 3 micron, 5 micron technologies. So how do you catch up? You have to catch up if we innovate, if we do the designs of our own, if we make our own machines. Other aspect is, which I want to share with you, is inclusiveness. The development which we are doing today is a challenge is remaining and growing as dynamic modern network is to increase inclusiveness. I already mentioned to you, unless we take care of everybody, we are going to be in difficulty. And inclusiveness is demonstrative not only by working there, we have to also demonstrate inclusive leadership. And that leadership is about being a servant and serving others. If you can no longer practice, then you should stop. There is a requirement to overcome a right to entitlement approach. Everybody knows it's my right. I think we have to look at that. If we don't practice inclusive and listening leadership, we are bound not to treat the next generation the way we want to be treated now. As leaders and agents of change, you have not only the right to seek for inspirational role models and mentors in the older generation, but a responsibility to be leadership role models and mentors yourself to each other and others. It is often debated whether we have a strategy and do we have the resources attached with the strategy. Let me add that it is not all about money. We often say that people are our biggest asset, biggest resource, and volunteers are at that top list. All of you are volunteers because you are here today. But volunteers, they have an advantage because they bring skills, talents, and passion. And that's one thing I would like to mention to all my young friends who are sitting here. Passion is something which certainly will take you through all the adversities. If even with the meager resources, if you are passionate about your work, about your goal, about your things, then you will always find a way. You will always find the resources to meet that goal. So passion is very important. It is often debated whether youth engagement is about revolution or evolution. There are and will be situations where you have to be activist and fight for power. Many times you'll say, no, these old generation, they don't let me do these things. No, many times. But it's important that when it is not happening and when there is a right cause, you have to be an activist and fight for power. At the same time, there are opportunities that are provided, such as the one for those of you who have come here today from different parts of the country, from different institutions. Please make use of them. He was already mentioning, interact and carry ideas through this. To conclude, I would say that we are no longer discussing whether you are the leaders of today or the future. You are providing leadership and it is shaping the future. Be bold, dare to dream and aspire to achieve what will enable a more caring world for vulnerable people and all humanity, and help our society to position itself in our country with our government and other stakeholders as the key humanitarian actor in creating a better world. Build your strong position with concrete outcomes to engage in what you see is important, and challenge senior leadership to be accountable and give you space in decision making and taking forward. At the same time, engage and welcome intergenerational dialogue. Many people say, oh, I can't even communicate to my father. That's a problem. And coaching, you could achieve great results in changing the world together. Youth will have to develop the following skill towards their goal. That's very important. System integration and synthesis, one skill we have to develop. Engineering sciences with analysis, problem formulation as well as problem solving. Engineering design, I mentioned. Ability to realize products. Facility with intelligent technology to enhance creativity and opportunity. Ability to manage complexity and uncertainty. Teamwork, sensitivity in interpersonal relationships, language and multicultural understanding, ability to advocate and influence, entrepreneurship, management skills, decision making, knowledge integration, education, and mentoring. However, many people say that all this is not taught to us in the colleges. So I have a word for that. This would require changes in the core curriculum and transforming the path of science and engineering through education to education through science and engineering, wherein the emphasis would be on three pillars, again, of sustainability, I want to mention. In the end, I would like to quote my guru, Dr. Kalam, who said, young people have to have courage to think differently, courage to invent, to travel the uncharted or unexplored path, courage to discover the impossible and to conquer the problems and succeed. These are great qualities they must work towards. No wonder the genius of India's missile man aptly recognized what society needs to do to evolve higher politically, socially, culturally, and he also wonderfully pointed out that one of the most pivotal factors which is indispensable in today's society as an organic whole is the youth of nation, the youth of our nation. If the ex-president's words highly extol the power and importance of youth in shaping our country's future, they also shed light on the great burden of responsibilities that young generation must carry and fruitfully discharge. I would ask, are you ready to take the challenge? Thank you, friends. Thank you very much.